like what the best angle is. Hello baby girls and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna do my long awaited fall TBR. I'm so late to this. I actually want to film this like end August. It's now October and in my head like literally like fall ends the second it's November because then it's Christmas season. Do you know what I mean? But this is like kind of like I guess my fall and just cold weather TBR. I have a separate like winter TBR which is like Christmas, but these like all just like work for fall and just like cold cozy weather, you know, because I cannot read, I don't know, I think 30 books in a month. But it's also my birthday month, so I won't really have time for that. It's actually my birthday in like 6 days. 18 finally. Keep the birthday nails. Super cute. Okay, let's actually just get into this TBR before I just go and ramble about my birthday. So we have 3 categories, right? So we have romance, fantasy, and thriller mystery. I have tried to be in my literary fiction era the last couple years. I always put them on my fall TBR and I never fucking read them. So I was like, let me just not put them on my fall TBR because then I don't get discouraged about the amount that is still on my fall TBR. Do you see where I'm going with this? Let's just start with romance because that pile is the smallest. The first one is The Dead Romantics. She also wrote The 7-Year Slip. I have not read that. This is the only book I own. English is so difficult, guys. This is the only book that I own by her, and I've been putting this off for a very long time because I was always like, I don't know if this is gonna be my vibe, because that was when I was like into Credence. But now I'm more, when I do want to read romance, I really want that emotional connection. I really want just so much more than the romance, and I feel like this is kind of definitely that. Yeah, he's a ghost and she's normal. Girl, how does that work? Anyway, what's more spooky than fall season to read this? Exactly. So that's book number 1. I'm also gonna try to do this quicker than I usually do because in my book haul I had 50 minutes of footage and I simply don't have that time today. So moving on, last romance book, we have All Roads Lead Here. Obviously the orange cover makes it seem very fall-y. Small town in the mountains. That just sounds fall, cold weather, wintry to me. It is quite a thicker book, but I've never read a Mariana Zapata book, so this would be my first. I still have From Look Up With Love by her as well, but because it's like a skating romance, I think I'll read that like winter, in like the depths of winter. Moving on. I'm very efficient today so far. I'm gonna get my hair out of my face. Which one should we do next? Let's do thriller because I have mainly fantasy because fall is just fantasy season. And last fall, I only started to dip my toes into fantasy. Last fall, I'd only read 1. Now I've read maybe 5. So we're getting somewhere. Let's just start. The first thriller mystery-ish book that I want to read this fall is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. Again, I've never read any book by Riley Sager, but I've seen a lot of the girlies say that his books slap and that like he's one of their like favorite like thriller authors. And I've been reading thriller since I came out of the womb. I've read thrillers before anything else, right? So before I read romance, before I read fantasy, before I got onto like book talk, booktube, everything. And I feel like that's always where I like can fall back on. So I feel like I can be a good judge if this is for me, you know? I don't really know what this is about. I don't really want to know. All I know is like creepy haunted house, I think. Scary, spooky. And apparently it's like actually spooky. So I think I might like, this is a book that would keep like later into the month when it gets like closer to Halloween. To stick on the Halloween theme, Trick or Treat. Obviously, this is the most fall Halloween-y title it can get. It's like a body is displayed in a remote field, posts resemble a piece of ancient art, and it's like in Oxford, and it's like students and like, you know, people die. And his name is the Halloween Killer, which is like obviously not the craziest name out there, but this could be so trashy, or it could actually be a fun time, and I hope it's a fun time. Like, I don't care if books are trashy, I can still enjoy them. I just hope it's not trashy to the point that it's bad. Moving on. Twisted Wing. This is literally almost the same exact thing, but in Cambridge. So it says the discovery of the headless body of a female undergraduate in her blood-soaked college room marks the start of a series of bizarre murders by a killer in the media called the Cambridge Butcher. It's just creepy. And I saw a review because I bought this at the charity shop and I was looking for reviews. I said this, I think, in my book haul as well. Somebody on Goodreads said that they expected like a murder mystery and they ended up with a psychological thriller, and I was like, you're coming home with me right now. Right now. The next book is Hide and Seek by MJ Arledge. So if we move this book over here and we look down here, you see I have the entire Helen Gray series, which is the series. This is book number 6, as I've repeated many times, but I started with book number 7, realized it's a series, started with book number 1. So in total, when I've read this, I would have read like the 7 books already, but there's like 12 in total and there's more coming or something like that. It's actually like crazy. I've been meaning to read this for a really long time, like actually since like February. I don't know why I didn't pick this up sooner, because also these books always get me out of a slump, and I've been in a slump for like the past 3 months, so I don't really know why I'm not like what's that word? Resorting. Thank you, not resolving. Resorting to this series, because like I know it gets me out. What I really like about this series, like look, the chapters are literally like 1 page, if not 2. I think the longest chapter I've seen in this book is like 5, maybe 6 pages long. And it's easily written. It's multiple POVs. It is all in 3rd person, but like you also get like the perspective of like the killer and the perpetrator. So, and it's just super good. It's just super good. So this series is also my fall recommendation. Moving on. We have, which I'm so late to this, the reappearance of Rachel Price. So what month was this? It was somewhere after May. And I was like, I'm gonna read this for a YouTube reading vlog. And I literally started posting about it on TikTok, like, guys, I'm gonna start this, yada yada yada. And I never did. And there's this one girl who commented, like, oh my god, when is it gonna be up? And she commented under another one of my videos, which is like, but I thought you were reading this. Like, when is that video gonna come up? And I still feel so bad for her. If you're watching, I'm so sorry. I don't think I'm gonna do a separate reading vlog anymore. I think I might include it in like another video that I will do. I have read like the first 12 pages, don't get me wrong. It's just I wasn't in the mood. And I was like, I've high expectations for this book, so I don't want to read it when I'm not in the mood, because that's just gonna lower my rating. Duh. I've just seen so many mixed reviews, which is like making me nervy. Next book, and the final book that is part of the thrillers and the mysteries and the murder mysteries and the crazy and the spooky, is None of This Is True. So I've heard so many good things about this book and so many high ratings, and especially for the audiobook, so I think I would maybe listen, or like half listen, half read, I don't know. I have a feeling that I could really enjoy this. It's about these 2 women, and they meet and they are birthday twins, and one of them is a podcaster, and she invites the other girl to like feature her on her new series. I don't know, I don't want to know. But all I know is creepy, it's weird, it's good. So many 5 stars I've seen, so hopefully this is a 5-star for me, because so far this year I've had like 3. Moving on to fantasy. Actually, that's a lie. That wasn't the last ones. I also really want to read the Natural series this fall. I already started the first book, which is called The Naturals, obviously. I started that a couple of days ago. It's super fast paced, like it's like, no, but like it reads so quickly, like it's so good. Like I'm totally loving the series already, but obviously I want to read all of these. So the first series that I want to read in fall is obviously the rest of the ACOTAR series. If you haven't seen it already, disappear in that corner over there. I read A Court of Mist and Fury literally last winter, and I didn't have these. Well, I ordered this one, but I was on a book buying ban, so I was like, and then I didn't want to read it, and then I had to study, and then I was like, no. And I was like, no, this is not a good time, and I kept putting it off, because again, I don't want to read it when it's not the right time, and like when I know I'm not going to be able to enjoy it to its full potential. But I feel like it's getting so close. Also, my boyfriend has been harassing me since I got him into reading, right? And I I made him read Fourth Wing and Iron Flame and stuff, because I mean, he really wanted to read Fourth Wing as well, and I just thought that would be like, it's like Fourth Wing is just such a good book for boys. I don't know why. I made him read those 2, and he read them like so quickly, Like usually he takes like a month, if not more, to read a book. And he's been asking me every single day, when are we gonna read A Court of Wings and Ruin? The fact that I forgot that title was like a bit concerning. But like he was like, when are we finally gonna read it? Because the thing is, obviously I don't want him to read it before me. That would be weird. So I promised him like sometime soon, but I don't know either, because like I need to be in the right mindset, but I think it might be my next read if I can promise myself that I won't get into a slump. On that note, I also still want to read the Throne of Glass series this fall. I have it. It's just all the way up there. And hold on, I am not gonna like, no, that's like too much effort. Anyway, I still want to read that for obvious reasons, but I obviously first want to finish ACOTAR before I get into that. But that's also such a commitment because it's like 8 books, but like I need to know. I need to join the youngsters who have also been reading it. As if I'm not 17. Shut up. Another series that I do want to read this fall is this series. It has a name. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. The Serpent and the Wings of Night and the Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. So I really want to read these. I have these. I've had these for a couple of months. So obviously I just like waited for, oh, bye sun. I wanted to wait till fall to read these because obviously these are very folly books. Trials, vampires, like I'm gonna eat this up. And I also have a very, very high expectation for these. And I just have to flex this, okay guys? I just have to flex that. And I don't know if all hardcovers of this series have this, but, and this one, and then it has a quote on the back. I literally just got my lip liner on the cover. Oh my god. Shoot me in the head, please. Like, look at that. Because the page went against my face. Luckily enough, it's like one of those soft ones that you can just like wipe off. Really, really want to read these. And I was gonna do a reading vlog again. I think I'll just stick to reading them in a video because I think I'm gonna do a little fall reading vlog. Anyway, moving on. These are the last few fantasy books. Let me just, yeah, let's just start. Kingdom of the Wicked. So I actually tried to read this during the summer. I was in a slump and I was really craving a fantasy feel, and this was one of the only fantasy books that I had that didn't seem like too fallish for me. I even asked on TikTok, I think, like, what's a book that I like, a fantasy book that's not too fall that you could technically read during the summer, and some people said this one. So I always trust people that follow on my TikTok, so go follow my TikTok. But I was like, okay, let me read this. But I was in such a slump. I read the first like 15 pages and I was like, this world building, that is so much effort that I cannot afford to use. I gave up. I don't know what I read after. Also, you know why I also stopped reading this? When literally 2 days after I started this, I went to the bookstore and I saw the Dutch version of these and I had to laugh because like the titles were stupid. And I was like, wait, what book is this? Like, what is this, book number 1, number 2, or number 3? So I can like see how crazy the comparison is to the like English title, because they didn't even sound anything like the English title. So I look on the back, like I literally just turn it around like this and I see a spoiler that like spoils this entire fucking book. They do the same at the ACOTAR books. Like I literally hate that. Like I had to force myself not to look at the backs because like I knew that there's spoilers on the backs. Don't do it, guys. It's not worth it. Just don't ever look at the back of a book anymore. So that's, I actually forgot that I did that and that I remember that. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna read this fall. I might need to wait a little longer until I forget that happened. The next book that I really want to read this fall is Lightlark. I also just got this recently in my most recent book haul. Also, it's just so like, look at it, like it's like so stunning. It's such a beautiful cover. I've heard very mixed things about this book, but I feel like I could very much enjoy it, and I hope I do, so that I have another like little series to like be excited and happy about. I'm pretty sure only book 2 is out right now, and then book 3 is coming out very, very soon. You know, that's not too much of a commitment. Like, it's nothing too crazy. It's kind of like Fourth Wing, you know, the first 2 books are out, and the 3rd one's coming, but you have your time still. And I just really hope that I like it also just because this cover is absolutely beautiful. And I've always, whenever people talk about this book, I'm like, I'm not sure. Also because I just wasn't the biggest fantasy fan in the beginning anyway, just because I never gave it a try. Also, I think the fact that it's YA is like very reassuring to me, because I know it's not going to be, there's not going to be too crazy words. The world building is obviously not going to be too hefty because it needs to be understandable for young adults, which I consider myself still. Then the final book for today's video, when the sun has literally disappeared. It literally disappeared. Where did it go? Two Twisted Crowns. So I read One Dark Window in, was it August? I think it might have been August. I think I read it in August and I loved it. The fall vibes. The vibes of this book are so unmatched to like any other book I've read. Like this, like the too many words going through my brain. The vibes from this book screams fall so hard that I don't think I've ever seen any more fall book anymore. Just like this book is so much vibe. Like obviously there's so much more to it. Duh. I don't know, whenever I think of this book, like of obviously the first book, all I can feel is just the vibe that I felt and that I read and the world that I was in and like the dark and like the, I think that is what makes it so perfect for fall. And I like this is just a duology because then you know like book 1, book 2, and done. Okay, no need to cosplay James Charles here. That was my little cutesy fall TBR. Also guys, what do you think of the new hair and blonder? Anyway, already wish me happy birthday. Anyway, if you're still watching, comment this little emoji up here. And I will see you when I see you. Bye baby girl.